Hey guys, welcome back. A little bit of a different angle for you today. Welcome to my bedroom. So glad you could join me. So this is not the video that I wanted to post this week. I wanted to post about the super awesome photo shoot that I did with Russ G Photography from last week. But I have realized that that is not going to happen this week. And it's because I have just been overwhelmed. I've been really overwhelmed. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't tend to show emotion. And by that, I mean particularly sad emotions or uncomfortable emotions that people don't really like to see. People like to see happy tears and joy and cry laughing and things like that. But a lot of the times people don't really like to see the more vulnerable side of people. I know I don't. It makes me uncomfortable. And I'm trying to work on that. I struggle a lot with showing my more vulnerable side and showing when I'm sad, and I'm the type of person that saves my tears for the pillow, if you will. Many of my close friends, my best friends that I've grown up with, have not seen me cry unless it's for something super major, or like acceptable to cry about. For example, like a death. Or I think the two times that my friends have seen me really cry and break down was over a breakup, a really intense breakup, and the death of one of our close friends' moms. So I don't want to cry today, but I do want to just be a little vulnerable and say, I am not doing so hot right now. I'm not doing so hot right now. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. I am anxious. This week has been very intense for me. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to be able to get the Russ video done, but I do want to post something, and I do want to show the vulnerable side of me. I have realized with a lot of my relationships, I don't show this side of me where I get overwhelmed and I get anxious and I get upset, because I'm very hyper independent and I don't want people to have to worry about me. And I've now realized that that's not healthy. Not a smart method of coping. I like to deal with things on my own. I don't like to burden others with my feelings, even when they're my close friends or family members. And I've realized that I need to kind of knock it off with that and learn, or rather unlearn, that way of coping. So I'm going to be a little vulnerable today and share about the stressful week that I've had, let it out, and then hopefully that will kind of help me connect a little bit. I think the internet is a really powerful place, and maybe this video will just be a nice way to connect with some people. So anyway, let me tell you about the week I had. So on Sunday, I went to an event for my job up in Greenville, South Carolina. And as soon as I got there, got a migraine. Of course. Of course I got a migraine. Why would I not get a migraine? I always carry Excedrin with me, but didn't get to it in time. So got hit with a migraine, went to bed by 7 p.m., and slept for 12 hours. So we kicked it off with a super solid start. Then on Monday, I had to do this conference. That's why I was there in Greenville for this conference. And it was a really freaking long day. It was from 8 a.m. to 4, and I had to socialize with adults and really turn on my social battery. And so it was just exhausting. And right after the event, the conference part was like a wine and dine networking social hour. Go to this social hour, still talking to lots of adults, really turning on my social battery, just exhausting myself even more. And let me share this as well. I have social anxiety. So having to talk to people and really kind of turn it on for long periods of time is exhausting for me. It is so exhausting. So, got through that, then had to immediately go to a dinner with a coworker of mine and his supervisor. Go to this dinner, again, still talking, constantly talking. And by the time that my day is done, it's like 9 p.m. and I realized I needed to meet up with a photographer that I worked with in the past to discuss a showcase that we're doing at the end of April. So I met up with him at a bar, talked, and it finally was a point where I was like, yes, I can like relax. Like I can have like my social battery turned off. Like this is someone I'm comfortable with and I can just hang out. Well, had a little too much fun and stayed out until like 2:30 in the morning, shut that bar down, and got back to our hotel. Keep in mind, it's 2:30 in the morning. I wake up at 7 a.m., so I'm running on 4 hours of sleep and a completely drained social battery from the previous day. I have to go downstairs into this conference, day 2, and I have to give a 25-minute presentation on one of the projects that I did for work. So, I, again, am exhausted. They don't have a hot breakfast. It's just pastries and fruit. So I don't have like any sort of sustenance. The way that I needed a hot breakfast so bad, I needed a hot breakfast. I needed a piece of bacon. No, I did not get that. So I ate my little croissant and my strawberries, and I just hope that I can muster up the energy to get through this presentation. Finally, it's my turn to give my presentation. I get up there, and I swear to God, I black out. I mustered up the very last minimal amount of energy that I had left to give this presentation, and it went well. It went well. I did a good job. My supervisor said that I did a good job. Like, people were engaged and asked questions. Like, it went well. I did great. But then had to pack up my bags and drive 3 hours back home. When I tell y'all, that was the most torturous drive of my entire life. Like, I would not wish that on my worst enemy. I was so tired and so drained from having to turn on my social personality, just having to constantly battle the social anxiety that I deal with throughout the week, that I felt like I was fully delusional in this car ride. I had to pull over at a rest stop and just sit there for 30 minutes. Like, I had to sit outside for 30 minutes, and I took a little cat nap in the car because if I continued driving, I was going to crash my car. Like, I have never felt so disconnected from reality because I was so tired and so drained. God, it was a lot. So I finally get home. I lug my stuff back inside. I pack everything up, and I finally am like, yes, I can rest for a minute. So I lay down and I take a nap, about an hour nap. I wake up and I finally am kind of like back in reality. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how did I do that? How did I drive my car and make it home? I'm so serious. Like, it felt like I was so delirious and tired and exhausted. If I had not stopped my car at that rest stop and listened to my body, I would have crashed my car fully. Like, I was so delirious, so exhausted, just so drained. It was like a dangerous situation. Like, I don't know how I made it home, genuinely. I was just exhausted. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, so wake up and I'm like, okay, I haven't checked any of my socials. I haven't checked my email. Let's see what we got going on. Immediately as I open my inbox, I get a message from I was supposed to walk in a fashion show for New York Fashion Week on Saturday. And the woman who kind of coordinated everything reached out to me and she was like, hey, Emma, I'm so sorry to tell you this. Our show got moved. We've been moved from Saturday to Sunday. I know you have an early morning flight Sunday. Is there anything that we can do to help, like, compensate you? Because, you know, I'm flying up there. I spent my own money to participate in this show, like, with my travel and stuff. And I was like, no, like, it's just going to be too chaotic. I have that one time window. Like, I'm going to be there for Saturday, and that's all I got. And no, I was like, I'll just be a tourist or whatever. So immediately was hit with that. And I just have a breakdown. Full breakdown. Crying, so frustrated, so upset. And it just had a moment. Fully had a moment. Thankfully, I had therapy today, and I was able to tell her all about my struggles and how upset I was, and we were able to talk through it together. But point is, it was exhausting. I had a really hard week, and I'm glad that the week is almost over. I'm still going to New York tomorrow, which I'm happy about. I am really excited to be going. I haven't been to New York since model camp, and I'm really trying to remain positive and be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to be in New York for New York Fashion Week. I may not be walking in this show anymore, but I'm going to get to experience the hustle and bustle of the city during Fashion Week. And it's going to be cool. Like, I'm going to take the subways and public transit and like I'm going to do the thing. My hotel is right by the Statue of Liberty and the World Trade Center. Like, I'm going to get to be a tourist for the weekend, and that's going to be cool, and that's going to be fun. And what's also great is the photographer that I worked with for that showcase that I said at the beginning, he's going to be there as well, and we're going to try to meet up and do a shoot together. So one door closes and another opens, people. Wanted to share that and just kind of be a little vulnerable for a minute. I'm glad I didn't sob online. But my point is, it's okay to be a little vulnerable from time to time. I'm still learning that, and I'm working on that. It's okay to cry in front of your friends if you need to. It's good to show that side of yourself to the people that you care about. I know this week's video wasn't really all that interesting, but girl, this is my channel. I'm doing what I want on it. So suck it up and deal with it. Next week, I will have that Russ video done, and you're going to see all the cool behind the scenes stuff and how we made the images that we did and all that stuff. So that'll be out by next week, I promise. Hopefully I don't have another breakdown. We'll see. That is all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the bedroom view. And I'll see you next week. So, bye-bye.